Hello, welcome to part 5 of this series. In this video we are going to look at functions or start functions. And functions are how we package a whole block of code and give it a name so we can run it by calling it by its name many times as we want and with different values each time, maybe. All right, so let's start. Let's start with an example. How to declare a function. Function make, and this is the name I'm going to give to my function. And then we need parentheses. And then simple console log growing a cup. All right, let's save. And nothing happens, right? Because we just declared it. We did not call it. So every time the function keyword, the name of our function, and then a parenthesis, because here we can take in parameters if we need them on our function, and then the block of code. And inside what's going to run when we call this function by the name. And how do we call it? Well, like this, with parentheses. Let me save. And there, brewing a cup. So if I call it more than once, save, there, it ran it 4 times. So then the parentheses that where we can use parameters, let's do an example of that. The name of our parameter, we choose it. I'm gonna just call it name. And then this is a variable name, parameter name, and it could take any type of data. Console log brewing a cup, and then plus name. Brewing a cup of, if we save, we brew a cup of undefined because we did not pass a parameter, right? So let's pass brewing a cup of latte. And then let's pass in another string, Americano, save to run, and there. We ran it passing latte as a parameter, then we ran it using Americano as the parameter. All right, something to be careful about. So this parameter takes any type of data. It will work here if we pass in a string, or if we pass here an int, save. So it will work, but it might be an unexpected answer if we pass something of different type, right? For example, if it's expecting an integer and we pass in a string, or vice versa. Just to keep that in mind. Okay, so moving on. So here we can take multiple parameters. Oops, name and size, for example. And then here we can do a latte large, and then use the keep concatenating a name plus, and then let's do a space, and then concatenate now let's do the name and the size first, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Brewing a cup of large latte because we pass these two, right? Here the important thing is this. They get assigned on the same order. From left to right, here from left to right. So the name is the first, second is the second. Right. Okay. So far, our functions, both of them, or this one, runs once inside, but it does not give back any value. Or it does, but an undefined one. My returned value is equal to whatever this returns, and then we can console.log my return value. Let's run this. There, returns undefined. And if we return a hello world, prints hello world, because we are giving whatever it's inside is after the return, we are sending it back or returning this. When this function is executed, it runs this, so it console.logs this. No, that's why it did console log this, but then it returned a value, a string hello world in this silly case, assigned it to my return value, and then we console log it, right? Let's do a more usable example about the return values. So let me erase this, and function calculate total, for example, calculate the total. And as our params, we're going to take a price and a quantity. And then our block inside what our function is going to do. So in this case, it's going to return price times quantity. That's it. Save. Nothing happens because we have not called it. So const total is equal to calculate total 4.5 comma 3, and console.log our total. Let's run this, save. Here we go. 4.5 times 3. So this method function, takes in two parameters, the price and the quantity, and returns back the multiplication of them. And here in this line, we are assigning what this function returns back to this total variable. And then we are console logging it out, right? Now, let's do a little example to talk about the scope of the variables. So variables, if we declare a variable inside a function, like for example, if here we were to declare a variable, say, why is this all wonky? Const my variable is equal to hello world for some reason, and then we console dot log my variable, and then we return the price times the quantity. If we save this, so it prints hello world and then returns the multiplication and assigns it to total, and then console logs the total. But what happens if then we want to outside here we don't console log the right? Well, let's keep it there, but then let's want to console log the total plus the my variable, and we save there. Uncut reference error, my variable is not defined. So we try to use the variable my variable outside of the function, and JavaScript doesn't know what this is yet. It's not defined because variables declared inside the block of the function only live inside here. Once the function returns its thing and it's over, the computer deletes, forgets about the things it's stored inside here for optimization purposes, things I guess now. The important thing is variables declared inside the functions only live inside the functions, and we cannot use them outside our functions, like here. Throws out an error. So just for experimentational purposes, const some other variable is equal to hello from outside the function, and then we inside the function we console.log the some other variable. So what's gonna happen here? Do you know? Let's save, Control S. There. Hello from outside the function. So that means when we ran calculate total way down here, it called this function. This function started running its block of code, declared my variable hello world, console log some other variable which was assigned outside this function, and then etc. No. So this const declared outside, I guess they are global, so they can be used inside the function, I guess. Yeah, so variable. All right, anyways, this was just an example of the global variables. And yes, if we declare them outside, they are global. So we can use them inside a function. But if we declare them inside a function, then they are local. So let's return to this, just calculate total. And that will be it for this part 1 of the functions. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.